Hi everybody. Alright, it is de-vinyling day. Uh, Basically, after a flight for lunch the other day, I got back out of the lunch room and got back out to the tarmac, and there were just big old bubbles in the top of the cowling. This vinyl is kaput. It has had it. So, time to remove the, we're going to remove the vinyl that we've got, and we're going to fix this cowl up because I'm sick and tired of it. Sick and tired. So, anyway, let's talk about the background. Let me start by saying, across the plane, vinyl has been great. 99% of it is perfectly fine. The only part that's a problem is this top cowl. And it really is my fault. I didn't do any prep. Now, you've seen me go ahead and, like, I've sealed the inside of the cowling with a couple layers of epoxy, even put that nice, like, thermal protector on there, the same that you use on the bottom cowl. And that's all well and good. The problem is, the outside of the cowl still has all the pinholes on that side of the layer of the composite, right? I mean, it's got that beautiful gel coat that you can see. That doesn't matter. There's so many pinholes in this. And what happens is when those pinholes get superheated up, or when the vinyl gets superheated up, that adhesive that comes with it will gel, right? It sort of melts. And if there's pinholes, well, it melts into the pinholes. And it is displaced by air, which then gets trapped, and anyone that knows the ideal gas law, PV equals nRT, as the temperature goes up, the volume will increase because the pressure is also increasing. And at this point, that original vinyl I've put on there is pretty much just completely boned. I mean, it's been heated up so many times that every time it does start to get hot, the spots are showing up in the exact same place over and over and over. So let's just take care of it. I'm tired of seeing it. So what does that mean? First thing we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of gap filler. Anyone that remembers me putting this carbon fiber on the back of the cowl because we wanted to keep it from pilling up between the cam locks. It's beautiful, but what I'd never done is deal with the transition between the carbon fiber and the cowl, so there was like a very abrupt line and not a very clean one. So we're using our Total Boat filler compound, the two-part blue and yellow you can see there. Makes that lovely green when combined, and it really does a good trick. It's very smooth. Once you sand that sucker down with 400, it's baby smooth. So we're doing that first, and then what we're going to wind up doing is we're going to put a couple layers of epoxy on top that have some micro balloons, and at the same time we're going to make sure it's nice and thin so that it gets into all those little pinholes. We're going to do that by adding like a 2% acetone to thin it out. So that is that. All right, quick rant time. To the people that complain when I get to go do business travel, they can go themselves. All right, look, you know how bad it is. So just in the last week, I had to go to the EU for some work for a week. Like, oh, you get to go to the EU, kiss my ass, blah blah blah. It's like, do you realize work travel is not what you think it is? Yeah, it gets paid for, but big deal. You spend 8 hours a day working with the EU people that you're going to go over and see, and then at the end of the day, guess what happens? Now it's morning time in the Pacific time zone. So now I've got a whole nother half a day of crap that I have to keep going because it's not like my regular job stopped just because I happen to be somewhere else. So yeah, kiss my ass. Just spent last 4 work days working like 17-hour days. And you know what? All the business class and all the great food and wine does not make up for that. So, no. All right, so here we are making up. Some epoxy. You didn't see, but I added so I've got basically 120 grams of total epoxy weight there. So what I did was I went and added there. You can see the vacuum going because I want to get the air out. So with 120 grams, 2% of that is basically 2.4 grams. So I added, about 3 grams of acetone into that and mixed it up. That helps drop the viscosity just enough so that just a little, it's a little flowier, because you really don't want it. We don't want to have to do this more times than we need to. And I think we wound up putting 2 or 3 coats on, maybe. Anyway, we'll see. Join me for the next video. We will keep on going. So thanks for joining me. See you soon.